April to September. That was the journey, right? That was 5 months. 5 months
Yeah.
they've made me from 3,200 followers,
Yeah.
from no contacts nowhere in the media industry
Yeah.
to nothing, to get me at 100K in 5 months. And they're like, we'll give you products worth X amount. They gave me 5, 6 products, which was 1/10 of the value. And they're like, okay, post the
Yeah.
picture, we'll send you the rest of it. I posted a
Mm.
static, never got the rest of it. I turned 100K. They're coming back at 100K. They're like, we'll give you this amount of products, this amount of money. And I was like, I don't want to work with you ever again. See, dating app is so out at this point. It's out of the frame because now I've got people using my pictures. So
Oh. Yeah.
a lot,
Damn, man.
like 13, 14 profiles on Bumble, 5, 6 on
Damn.
Grinder also. I'm like, and
Yeah.
at that point, things started getting out of hand
Mm.
because I was getting a lot of things on my DMs and a lot of nasty paragraphs of what people would do to me.
Literature.
Like, yeah, like one-way sexting. Like, it was just that.
Hey, hi, and welcome to our podcast. In today's conversation, we spoke to one of India's leading Gen Z creators, Harsh Gandhi. Harsh's forte is in the world of fashion, skincare, lifestyle, and fitness, and he has steadily been carving out his name and his brand. He has a loyal audience of more than 100,000 followers. In today's conversation, we spoke about some of the difficulties of navigating relationships that influencers face. We looked at some of his insights into managing the pressures of the endless social media number game. And we also looked at some of his tips about how to create viral content. If you're someone who is a fan of Harsh, or if you're someone who wants to better understand the complexities and challenges of being a popular creator, you don't want to miss out on this. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Hey man, it's so good to have you on. How are you doing?
I've been amazing. Thank you guys for having me. It's been a pleasure. But yeah, everything's been going good. Content has been going nice. The work that I've been doing throughout has been doing well. The
Yeah.
workout has been going
Mm.
great as always. So yeah,
Mm.
good times.
Well, we are also very happy to have you on. And to start off the podcast, I think a lot of people have seen your content, but a lot of people don't actually know your journey. I believe before you started content creation, you worked as a marketing executive at Monkey, at Nykaa, I believe. So
Couple of
just take us
places.
through the journey of going from behind the scenes to facing the camera yourself.
Ah, damn! It was what, 4 years now it has been.
Yeah.
I was, I
Mm.
think, first year of the college. First year of my senior college. I was at NMIMS,
Yeah.
doing BBA. I think
Mm.
13th grade is what people call it. And I started. My friends, everyone was doing like extracurricular courses and doing something other than college as well. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was barely getting through college, and I didn't know how everybody had time to do all of that. But just in peer pressure, everyone was doing digital marketing courses.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll also enroll in one because I don't want to feel left out at that point.
Yeah.
Because 2 years down
Yeah.
the line, if they got a job in digital marketing and
Yeah.
I couldn't uproot anything from BBA, then I would feel very bad about it. So
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay, chalo, let's do digital marketing. And
Mm.
then we completed with that 8, 9 months course.
Yeah.
Mm.
Good course, got it done.
Yeah.
After that, placements started happening, and I didn't sit for placements. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But then I got connected to Viraj, who is the co-founder of Monkey.
Yeah.
And he had a requirement I saw on his Instagram story, and I was like, okay, let's
Reach
just
out.
text him. Why not? Let's just
Mm.
DM him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he responded, and he's like, okay, come down to the office. Blah blah blah. Saturday, 11 o'clock. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm there at Saturday 11 o'clock, and I just enter the office, and there are 5 random people who are just staring at me. That, who are you? Like, why are you here? And turns out Viraj had forgotten, so he wasn't there.
Oh.
So there's somebody else called Jalak. So I told her that,
Yeah.
you know what, there was supposed to be an interview. She gets on a call with Viraj, and Viraj is like, oh shit, just take the interview. And so I sat in front of her. I told her, what do I do? Why do I want to do this? I didn't have a solid justification of why I didn't want to do it or why I wanted to do it
Yeah.
wasn't much convincing, but my energy was high. So she's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know what? Okay, you'll fit in. Let's just get you. Everybody else is from engineering SVKM only. You're also from SVKM. You will fit in. So that's how we started. And I think it was what 7:30 was the college. So I used to leave my house at 6:30, reach
Yeah.
at 7:30.
Yeah.
College gets done at 12:30.
Yeah.
Leave from Juhu, NMIMS.
Mm.
Take a train, go to Prabha Devi, go to the office, reach there around like 1:30, have lunch, start working at 2:30,
Yeah.
and then get out from there at like 8:30.
Wow.
Come back home from Prabha Devi to Kandivali,
Yeah.
which is another 1.5 hours. So 10 o'clock
Yeah.
I'm home,
Yeah.
have dinner. Sometimes if I was in the energy, go to the gym at 11. But most of the time, just pass out at 10:30, wake up again at 5:30.
Yeah.
And that was for like 2 years straight.
Rinse, repeat. Yeah.
Yeah, just 2 years straight. Second year, third year, that's all I did. Everybody was like, "Why are you doing it for like 5,000 rupees a month?"
Yeah.
That was my first salary for internship. Uh, and 6 hours every single day with that schedule. I
Yeah.
was dead at that point.
Yeah.
And then I think I graduated in 2020.
Yeah.
Couple of months after that, I mean, COVID hit, so there was no salary hike even after I graduated, even
Yeah.
after I became a full-time employee. So I was
Mm.
working full-time for 5,000,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
for a couple of months, and then they of course increased it.
Yeah.
After that, I was handling a couple of brands over there. Nykaa was there, Wow Skin Science was there. We started Nykaa Man's page, me and a couple of other people. We
Nice.
grew it from like zero. Of course, we started, so it was zero. And
Yeah.
then for a month, in a year and a half, we I think grew it to 200K.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was the start of what I did.
Yeah.
Wow Skin Science was there, Healthwit was there. I was also on the side, whereas I was like, why don't you just take campaigns up
Yeah.
for influencer campaigns? So, there are these moms who do YouTube channels
Yeah. Yeah.
from
Yeah.
like tier 2 cities.
Yeah.
So I used to do campaigns for them. I used to bring Mama Earth campaigns to them. And I used to coordinate with all of these moms की subtitle ये होता है, caption ये होता है, thumbnail ऐसा डालना होता है.
Yeah.
So I was doing that at the side, and I was doing the social media as well.
Yeah.
But then in my plate, there were like a couple of brands. So I got saturated by just thinking about those couple of brands, because
Yeah.
then you
Yeah.
become like a horse that you're just, okay, I've done these X amount of campaigns,
Yeah.
I've done these X amount of posts,
Yeah.
I've built like 5, 6 IPs, and
Yeah.
now I'm just repeating those IPs, thinking that it'll work again, it'll work again, it'll work again.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen, and I was also honestly tired of kitna grooming hoega, like
Mm.
how much can I
Exactly.
show? I've done
Yeah.
skincare, I've done beard care, I've done hair care, I've done body grooming,
Yeah.
perfumes, fragrances, body washes, face washes, everything I'm done with.
Monotonous. Yeah.
What more can I put into Nykaa Man?
Yeah.
Or even Wow Skin Science, because it's the same grooming line which I was handled with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at that point, I realized that, okay, now we need to move on from this.
Yeah.
Because other brands I don't want to do.
Yeah.
Other brands weren't exciting enough. As a brand itself,
Yeah.
like Nykaa Man was cool with us doing whatever.
Yeah.
Like if it's a sex meme, go ahead. If it's a
Yeah.
condom post, please crack a double meaning joke. Whereas
Yeah.
other brands are not like that, which
Yeah.
won't give us that freedom. So I was
Freedom,
like,
yeah.
no, I don't want to do any other brand. So I was like, okay, you know what? This is it, guys. It's been 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Lovely times, but this is it. And then we moved on. I was always interested in fashion. So I was like, you know what? This is the time. I've left this very serious job. Now let's do something fun. I don't care if it's just 2, 3 months. I'll just chill somewhere. I'd saved up enough that could last me for like 6, 7 months. If I don't do anything
Got it.
for 6, 7 months, I have the savings, because my schedule was so hectic that I didn't get time enough to spend it. I couldn't go out. Campaigns were like every occasion was a campaign.
Yeah.
So if it's Diwali, rather than celebrating Diwali with my family, I'm like, 6 पोस्ट डालने हैं, हर रोज की 3 स्टोरी डालनी है. तभी रील्स नहीं थे, so
Yeah.
तभी it was hard video format,
Yeah.
which is what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Carousel posts, static posts, and just stories. And stories पे भी तभी IPs होती थी कि
Yeah.
Wednesday we'll do a Q&A, Thursdays ko we'll
Mm.
give tips on these skincare routines.
Mm.
Saturdays ko you give us one of the raw material, like suppose aloe vera. Then we'll give you suggestions of the best aloe vera products that you can buy.
Yeah.
So my brain was just that. Just कि ये करना है वो करना है events सब गया तेल लेना. I was just working. So after that, it was such a huge break. Then do you know this brand called Jaywalking? It's a streetwear brand. It's I think one of the biggest streetwear brands in India right now. So I saw the story again. I don't know what's it with me and the Instagram stories. That's how I applied, and they're like, "Okay, come down." It was like an open interview. Like, this is the office address. Come after 3 whenever you want. So I just showed up there, and it was very casual. I know Jay very well at this point now, and he's like, "अच्छा तो ये सब है, ये store है, ये कपड़े है, ये price है, ये सब pieces है, and then you will get some high profile clients, or you have to just sell them X amount ka products." And I was like, "Okay, cool," and just maintenance of the store and everything. And I was like, basic things. I was like, "Okay, cool, let's do it." And then he hadn't approved. I'm like, हाँ चलो कर लेंगे, done. And then he's like, "Acha, okay, you'll do it now, हाँ, okay, cool, you're done. Come Monday se." And that's how we fixed it. And I was the new store manager of Jaywalking at that point. I did that a couple of months. It taught me a lot of things actually. So the ticket value of each product of Jaywalking is quite high. Like suppose a T-shirt that sells for like 7.5k. A jacket one of one is for like 75k. And for me, going into that store, it was a cultural shock for me itself. Because I have never purchased a T-shirt for more than like 1200, 1500 at that point when it was like 2020, 21. And I hadn't even been exposed to a jacket which is 65,000. And me convincing other people that, "Oh my God, sir, you look amazing in this jacket. You should, it's totally worth spending 75,000 on one piece of jacket," was out of my head at that point. So it took me a while. I was very shy at that point because I didn't have any one-on-one conversations, especially with people who were literally high value. Like they could spend 1 lakh in cash without even thinking twice. So I was quite nervous about it because every person that I had spoken before had a budget crisis, had an agency to run to, and didn't have enough budgets to spare out. Whereas over here, it was like, if it looks good, I'll spend whatever the hell I want. It was a shift in the geographic, it was a shift in the demographic completely. And so I learned how to sell, how to talk to a lot of people, start a conversation, actually build relations with them where I'm friends with those customers right now as well. Where they can help me get into a couple of things as well, where they can get me business to myself as well. So, I mean, the sales part was the hardest part over there. And I did that for 4 months. I enjoyed the thrill of it, whatever. But then I realized that I'm not meant for sales. Like I need to do much bigger and much better I can do than just being in a store. No offense, but no offense to whoever is doing it. But I'm just not meant for it.
Not for you.
Because going every single day, opening the store at 9 or 10, and then closing the store again at 9, 12-hour job, sitting there on Sundays also. Because Sundays are the most
of course, highest
footfall. So that's the place where you sell most of the amount. So I couldn't even take a break. And then my family only meets on Sundays. That's like a family time because my mom and dad both are working. So that was the only day that we met, but because of this we couldn't. So I was like, you know what, this has got to stop. And then I think it was March. It was March when I left Jaywalking. And then I had the entire of March. I was just chilling. I was doing nothing. Literally, I was just waking up. I was like, आज कुछ करना है? नहीं करना है यार. अभी इतने टाइम से मैं काम कर रहा हूँ. ये महीना कुछ भी नहीं करना है because this was the first time I was getting a break in 3 years. I just worked constantly. And this 1 month I was like, कुछ नहीं करना है. मैं सिर्फ सोने वाला हूँ. I'm just gonna eat, go work out, and do nothing. And I literally did nothing. And at the end of March, I was like, you know what? I wanted to do content because I was
Mm.
surrounded by a lot of content creators at Monkey.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was Ranveer, who was, of course, the co-founder, who was always there. He was
Yeah.
always, and I used to see him because YouTube at that point wasn't shorts. There
Mhm.
were no
Yeah.
reels.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was full
Long form.
information, 10-minute conversationalist
Yeah.
podcasts, all of that. And I've seen him
Mm.
work insane hours. He was also an editor, he was also a videographer, he was also the director, also the scriptwriter for his own
Yeah.
videos at the start. And I've seen that as well.
Yeah.
And then I've seen him get a whole team. Like when I joined
Mm.
Monkey, I think I was one of the first 10 employees of Monkey.
Oh, okay.
And they had just launched a year back. The
Mm.
office was literally 2 rooms and one
Mm.
boardroom.
Mm.
And uske upar was the studio where it was only for the beer biceps people
Yeah.
that could only shoot. So
Mm.
that was it. And that was just the office. And there were barely like one or two editors at that point.
Yeah.
So I've seen him like struggle with the edits, struggle with the lighting, all of that. And then at that earlier phase, they used to sign like big YouTube creators, like Mumbai Kar
Yeah.
Nikhil, if you say so,
Yeah.
Gaurav
Yeah.
Taneja, Ritu, all of those people, Sejal, all of that, all of them had come to the office,
Mm.
and I was just surrounded by all of them people, and I was just wondering like how much they even earn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of papers lying around which I wasn't supposed to see, and I had my eye on them, and
Yeah.
my jaw dropped. Like
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, like that's a lot. Like this would
Yeah.
take me a lot of months to earn
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
salary, and they're
Yeah.
just earning from
One post.
one video which is 30 seconds long.
Yeah.
And even if there are
Mm.
overheads to be incurred, which is editing and shooting,
Yeah.
that's not so much that you can't save like
Yeah.
3 months of my salary at that point.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was mad,
Yeah.
I was jealous,
Mm.
and I was frustrated that how is that possible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like only people I've seen is CEOs and like people at good positions earn that much a month.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I was just surprised that one campaign on one post they're earning that much. So it was
Yeah.
March end, and I was like, okay, you know what? I've been wanting to do this since a while.
Huh.
Let's give it a try. Let's give one shot. I'll try it
Yeah.
for 1 month. I was
Mm.
giving interviews at the side. I was giving job interviews at the side.
Yeah.
And I did it for 15 days. I was already at 3,200 followers because I
Okay.
used to post like just statics in my college. And I was fair
Mm.
and I was a chocolate boy in college. So I got that 3.2.
What the?
So
Mm.
that much was a good head start where I was getting like 1,000 likes at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because most of them were like my friends.
Yeah.
So start of April, first, 2nd of April, I was like, okay, let's just sit for 2, 3 days and think of what I want to make.
Yeah.
And 5 days, I just thought 7th of April, 2022, last year,
Mm.
exactly
Yeah.
1 year back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. 7th of April, I was like, okay, today we post the first content. I went to the gym. That is what I was good at. So we made gym tutorials. I posted my first video on 7th of April. I did that for 15 days. I think 15th of April, I locked Nykaa. Nykaa was like, let's start working in the first week of May. So I was like, okay, you know what? 15 days, till 15th I posted. And I think till 21st, I crossed 5K. And then from 21st, 30th, I was already on 15. In 10 days,
Ooh.
I gained 10K.
That's rapid. Mm.
And then I joined Nykaa on the first, or I think first
Mm.
week only, and I was posting
Mm.
everyday content.
Mm.
And at that point,
Yeah.
you know what? It was just fitness. It was just stretching, productivity kind of posts.
Yeah.
And then I think first week onwards, they told me like, this is your job. So my
Mm.
job was as a senior marketing executive.
Okay.
I already had done campaigns at Monkey, so they were like, okay, you know what, marketing campaigns you can do.
Yeah.
And with Nykaa, there are sales every month. There are sales every month, right? Because if there's November, then Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whatever.
Yeah.
December is Christmas,
Something or the
New
other
Year,
is around the
something or
corner.
the other. They'll I mean, if not, they'll make up something to
Yeah.
create a sale. And because Nykaa is a huge company, it has three parallels, which is My Nykaa, which is Nykaa Beauty, Nykaa Fashion, and Nykaa Man. So I was
Got it.
I was
Okay.
in the committee of Nykaa Man. So
Mhm.
we had a full circle at this point. We had
Okay.
started their social media,
Exactly.
and on their social media only, now I'm getting brand campaigns. So now I'm executing brand campaigns and I'm giving it to Monk that, you know what, on social media, you need to do this. So
Mhm.
from that exact same agency, I became the client.
Yeah.
And on 15, they gave me like, okay, on the start of the month, we'll give you like a list of things that you need to do. These are the products which are going to be highlighted. These are
Yeah.
the sales. These are the, I mean, what are those category sales which are going to happen in this month? So
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
order products, you can give them to Monk. You can also create your videos that we can post on Nykaa Man's app. So on Nykaa Man's app,
Oh, okay.
yes. So if you even still now, if you open Nykaa Man's app, there is a Reels section in the Nykaa Man app.
Oh.
And if you, there are like over 300 Reels.
Mhm.
And all the 300 Reels are me.
Oh, wow.
I've made that 300 Reels just because I got the products.
Yeah.
And they were like, we need more exposure.
Yeah.
So why not just go ahead? I was like, okay, cool. So in that, I already had my knowledge of Nykaa Man because I used to handle their social
Yeah.
media.
You used to
I
handle
already
associates.
knew a lot about skincare. I already knew a lot about grooming
Yeah.
Yeah.
and every other category which I managed.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was getting the products from Nykaa for free. Not me
Mm.
personally, but to showcase at Nykaa.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
getting the products for free. I had the knowledge.
Mhm.
And while searching, I also had access to everybody's review.
Mm.
All 10,000 people who are buying in a single
Yeah.
day, I
Yeah.
know exactly how they feel. I know what their buying pattern is. I know if they've bought this, what is the next thing that they've clicked. I
Yeah.
know what they've bought in pairs. I had
Yeah.
all of that knowledge.
Yeah.
And then for one campaign, I think it was launch of Ordinary. And Nykaa did the launch of Ordinary, and I was just searching for creators who could amplify this campaign.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was also a creator, but I was at like 15, 20. So I wanted someone who's macro because the budget was decent enough.
Yeah.
And I'm searching. There's no one. There's no one in skincare that I can find. There's nobody. There's everyone who's doing lifestyle, who's
Yeah.
also doing travel, who's also doing
Yeah.
fashion. Then he's doing luxury cars,
Yeah.
and then also skincare.
Mhm.
And I was like, there's a huge gap. We need to get this done.
Mhm.
So 15th of May onwards, I was like, everything has changed. Now we're doing budget reviews of skincare products.
Skincare product. Got it.
And you won't believe me, first month I touched 25K.
Mm.
From May 15th to end of May. If I show you, I have literally in my notes app,
Yeah.
I have, I'll just show it to you.
All those milestones.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I see it.
And it's 3 days. You're getting it like
Yeah.
it's
11
15th
months.
June to 17th June, 55 to 60K.
And like 5K almost every 3 days. Yeah.
Like, yeah, 26th to 30th, 65 to
Mm.
70K.
Yeah.
And in a month, I think I grew like 40K.
Yeah.
And I'm not believing it because I'm waking up in the morning. I had 25, I refresh 26.
Mm.
Afternoon, I'm refreshing 26.5. And I can't believe it because the goal was always, when I started out, was 25K. Like a silver jubilee would be nice.
Yeah.
And then when I crossed 25, I was like, oh, 50 would be nice. Like,
Mm.
and then
Yeah.
50 happened, like 40 to 80 happened in a month. So I
Yeah.
didn't know, okay. And my commercials were haywire
Yeah.
because the last brand I did was at 15K because I
Yeah.
had time at that point. Then
Yeah.
15 to 80, I had no clue. So at 80K, I was charging pennies. I was charging pennies. So
Yeah.
every brand that I worked with when I was at 80K had such a huge advantage because I was charging literally nothing at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then finally agencies came around, and then I still continued Nykaa. Because I knew the business side I want to develop.
Yeah.
And being at Nykaa would also, if suppose Touchwood doesn't, but God forbid if anything happens for the social media, Nykaa, Monk Entertainment, Jaywalking is a good resume on the profile.
Yeah. Solid.
So yeah.
But it's crazy, actually. Like, we saw your journey of like how your followers were growing, and that's what the people have seen. But now, when they like
Oh.
hear this story, I think everything makes sense, and it's the training that you had that led to that fast growth for you.
Yeah, like it became a full circle when I was like, okay, skincare, this
Yeah,
is it. Because I had gathered all the knowledge by doing all the posts,
yeah,
and then I saw the gap and I was like, you know what, it is a very strategic idea of doing it.
yeah,
Now I care about, it's not like I just did it for the numbers or
yeah,
just to fill the gap. But I was always into grooming
yeah,
since I was handling Nykaa Man. So I was like, you know what, I don't mind doing it. Touch wood, I've been doing skincare since I was handling Nykaa. So I was like, you know what, why not just tell them what I do and just try on a couple of more products
Yeah.
and just give them some more of an information, which like I could give them an aggregate review of all the 10,000 people in one
yeah,
video.
In
And
one
I
video,
think
yeah.
that is what worked because
yeah,
it was very
Yeah.
short.
Yeah.
3 products under 500. Don't even bother about these products. Just
yeah,
these three. This is it. This is all you
Yeah.
want. Just simple, plain.
Yeah. Like distilling information, and like you said, you had an awareness of the market, you had an awareness
Yeah.
of their buying patterns, so you could bring all that awareness into the content you created.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's an interesting, like you've been dabbling in like these worlds of like skincare, fashion, fitness. One common theme, as I see it, maybe you'll disagree, is that like they all seem to revolve around like appearance, how you look, how you present
Of
yourself.
course.
I'm curious, I guess, to what extent would you agree with that, A? And B, what kind of impacts does creating that content or working with that content come with? For instance, do you feel like a sense of pressure, anxiety, like, you know, I'm stepping out, I'm going for an event, you know,
Yeah.
because
So
I'm in this world, that extra
it,
consciousness.
it
Yeah.
revolves around appearance 100%. 100%. If I'm giving, if I myself don't have abs tomorrow, and if I'm giving diet routines, nobody's gonna watch it.
Nobody's gonna
Nobody's gonna
okay.
care. If I've got shitload of acne, if I'm not able to solve my own acne,
yeah,
why would I even give people advice on things that I couldn't do it myself?
yeah,
If you are showing your journey of how you're trying to minimize it, that's good. But if you're giving tips like I am, and if you are not at the best of your game, nobody's gonna watch it. It's simple. Like, I mean, even if I was watching someone, if I was watching Athlete X or David Lade, if they didn't have that kind of body, I wouldn't watch them at all.
yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, that's the whole testament that you've made it yourself, right? And that's why I'm agreeing to it. Second thing was asked about the pressure. Uh, yeah, yeah. I mean, more than appearance, I think, of course, that is there. But I think more than appearance, it is the consistency wala pressure. Where so I started this thing when I was growing at 40K. It wasn't just for like one post in a week. I was doing 7 day 7 reels. I did 7 day 7 reels for I think 72 days. So I think that is 10 weeks, almost 2.5 months. And
Wow.
at the end of the 2.5 months was that 40K in a month wala growth phase.
Mhm.
Because
Got
at
it.
that point, I had enough content on my profile where they could binge.
yeah,
Yeah, so that is how it happened. That but 7 day 7 reels is a huge mark to do.
yeah,
And then on top of 7 day 7 reels, there were a couple of static posts of my fashion. Because I was not only doing skincare, there was also fashion.
Passion
Plus there were
plus
stories
fitness.
on plus fitness. Yes, I mean fitness was happening in the reels. Fashion ke liye I'm only doing statics.
Yeah.
I mean get ready with me was in the trend at that point.
yeah,
So there was just static posts just showing your outfits. So 7 reels including skincare and fitness. Uske upar was the fashion, and on top of it were everyday stories. So from posting all of this, September I hit 100K.
Yeah.
And I think September I took like a 10-day break. Okay, now if I don't take a break, I'll burn out.
yeah,
I won't be able to post anything for next 3 months.
yeah,
So I took a 10-day break. I uninstalled Instagram.
Yeah.
That 10-day break turned into a 20-day break. On 20th of September, I'm coming back and I'm checking my profile and I'm at 110. just
Ah.
just ऐसे ही. And then that pressure built up because 7 day 7 reels plus post, which took
Yeah.
it around like 9 or 10 posts in a week,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is 32 posts
Yeah.
in a month.
Yeah, that's crazy.
To beat that, there is no chance that I'm beating that. There's nothing like, unless I am creating, unless I have a team who's staying at my house, who's
Yeah.
recording me 24/7 like Gary Vee is doing.
Gary Vee. Yeah.
I'm not beating 32 content pieces in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest pressure that I'm still building onto,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I have listed down every month's content pieces which I've made.
Yeah.
I think July was 32 content pieces. After
Yeah.
that was 27, 19, then again 22. And after like November, after my birthday, it has
Yeah.
always been like 19, 13, 11,
Mm.
19 again, 13 again.
Yeah.
I think February was 7.
Ah.
March was barely 12, 13.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this month, I think, is going to be around like 10.
Yeah.
So at this point, I think appearances is of course a factor, but I
Yeah.
think the content, the consistency is putting it more
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
the appearance.
Yeah, I can imagine. Because Instagram's algorithm, a lot of creators, we've spoken to so many, they talk about how it's just unforgiving sometimes. And I think what compounds it, I don't know if you experience this, but a lot of people, their sense of relevancy and worth is also tied up. कि मेरा
Yeah.
कितना bump up हो रहा है, कितना ऊपर जा रहा है.
Exactly.
And we all know, like, surface पे बोलो, yes, numbers is not your worth, but there is still that emotional part of you that feels that.
थोड़ा दुखता तो है ना यार.
Yeah.
Like I'm at 103
Yeah.
right now. I've lost 7K in the last
Yeah.
September to right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't affected. I mean, it has affected me. Of
Mm.
course, there have been days where I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Glad I did Nykaa. Glad I
Yeah.
have got it on my resume. Okay,
Yeah.
let's join LinkedIn at this point back again.
Yeah.
But then I just wait it out. Like I've spoken to someone from Meta,
Yeah.
and no offense to them, but they have said the most generic thing to me,
Yeah.
that you know what, we'd suggest you to do. You should post every day, and then you should post one story with a gap of 15 minutes, at least 8 in a day. And then after posting every day, I think you should do a couple of fashion posts also. And I'm just listening, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I didn't know this. Of course, this is new information. And they're like, and I think do this for a month and a half, and then I'm pretty sure you will see growth. And I was like, wow, like,
I think they forgot one thing, which is like also give up on your life.
yeah, I didn't know about this. Great. Glad that I have to know about this from you guys. And this is the answer for what do I do with my algorithm. Like,
Yeah.
I was getting minimum like 300K on every reel. Views is what I'm talking about. My engagement was around 20%. Now I'm sitting on 6 with every view at 50K with 100K followers. And if you see, 50K other reels were reaching to other people. Out of my followers, it is reaching to 10K people. And I just asked them that, why is it?
Why is that happening?
They had no clue.
Yeah.
And they was just suggesting me that you should do this instead. I was like, no shit, I should do that. But if I could do that, I wouldn't be asking you all of this. I would have just done that already.
Precisely. It's like that joke, no? If you're homeless, just buy a house.
Yeah, like, why you sad? Don't be sad. Great. Fuck. Shit, I didn't think of this. Like, as a therapist, would you say, like, why are you sad? Don't.
Just be happy.
Just be happy. What the hell?
Yeah, man. And it's also, I think what also compounds this is the fact that social media, like, I think it's human. We compare ourselves to others. We're social creatures, right?
Happening.
Tough not to feel envious. Social media is designed in a way where, with a focus on engagement and follow accounts, you're comparing even more, like it's amplified. So I'm sure, like, this is also like the icing on top of the cake to make it even more difficult.
Yeah, just like one stab, like, just hurts you in your heart when you're like, okay, I just outbeat that guy in terms of followers and engagement. Not that I keep a track of, but yeah, and then they're just passing me, and now they are like 20, 30K ahead of me, and I'm just sitting like, If I had been consistent in the first week of May or September, and if I hadn't taken that break, like at this point, I'm like, क्या ही हो जाता burnout होके कर लेते कुछ ना कुछ तो should have been consistent at that point. But then I just realized that okay, no, I wouldn't have thought of the ideas which I'm thinking right now if I would have already gone forward with those 10 extra days of content.
Yeah.
So now I think
Yeah.
I've had my peace with it that you know what, it's okay. We'll
Yeah.
get back to it. I am at 19 posts in a month. I'll build up to 20, 25.
Yeah.
And we'll beat it. We'll beat it. Like I'm not satisfied with 103.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm looking at 500k.
Yeah.
And I'm not satisfied at all. At 103, I just have so many ideas more to do in terms of fashion and skincare and the things that I could do.
Yeah.
There's a lot. So I think I've made my peace with it.
Yeah, I think we
Oh.
can't let others decide our pace because eventually, if you're in the rat race, there's no end. You can reach 1 million and be in the
Yeah.
rat race because there are different competitors there. So you have to grow at your
Exactly. Yeah. Like I
step up.
mean, I've like see my content takes time because I have to source for products. I have to source for a couple of things.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
people who are making comedy videos, sketch videos, it's just them.
Yeah.
I am assuming it would take time as well to get a script done, but shooting doesn't take time. For them, it's just getting in front of camera
Yeah.
and just saying things
Yeah.
which they've already written. That conversion is 20, 25, or suppose 2 hours.
Yeah.
That is much better than what my takes, which is getting the products for like 7 days.
Yeah.
So if I compare in that terms,
Yeah.
then I can never beat them.
Yeah.
Because if they can write a script in 2 hours and shoot it in the next 2 hours, 4 hours में they are churning out a reel. For me to source that product only will take a couple of
एक
days.
हफ्ता लगेगा exactly.
So there is no point of me crying over कि shit वो 15 post कर रहा है महीने के और मैं 10 कर रहा हूँ. So
Yeah.
I'll never beat it.
Yeah. You mentioned Gary Vee, and I think he keeps talking about patience to all the influencers he speaks to, and that is the most difficult virtue. Just that patience. It'll take time. Yeah.
I just realized that it has been like I think on the 7th of April this year. I just woke up in the morning. I didn't realize it was 7th of April until I just saw my phone and I was like, shit, am I dreaming? Or is it really 7th of April? And I had to go back in my story archives
Yeah.
and see the reel which I had reposted on my story on 7th of April.
Yeah.
That oh shit. It's been
The
a
journey.
year.
The
It's been a
journey.
year. And I just asked a couple of people that how long has it been?
Mm.
And they tell me like 4 years, 5 years. I've been doing since 2019,
Yeah.
2017 as well, a couple of people. And they've reached 300k in like 3 years.
Yeah.
And like 100k also in 3 years I've seen.
Yeah.
And I'm here sulking that I'm not growing at 40,000 a month. That's so shit of me.
Yeah.
Like I should be so much grateful that in a year, I
Yeah.
wouldn't even consider in a year, like April to September,
Yeah.
that was the journey, right? That was 5 months. 5 months
Yeah.
mein they've made me from 3,200 followers,
Yeah.
from no contacts nowhere in the media industry
Yeah.
to nothing to get me at 100k in 5 months,
Yeah.
in 6 months, and I should be very grateful for that. And I
Perspective.
don't care for the next 6 months that it didn't grow, but it grew at that pace, and I grew by like 100k, exact 100k. I should be very grateful to all of those people, and I shouldn't sulk, and I should be patient because there are people grinding for 3 years and getting 100k, and they are
Yeah.
so much satisfied than me, and it would be so bad that I am cribbing to them. That shit,
Yeah.
yaar, in 1 year I've just grown 100k, and they are telling me that it has taken 3 years for me. Why are you sad about it? You should be
Yeah.
very happy.
Yeah.
And at that point, I realized that, and I did a huge post on 7th of April that, oh my god, I'm so grateful. And I was so emotional at that point. I was like, you know what, everything. From I think this month onwards, I was very sorted out. You know what, it will happen. It'll happen. Just I think, push your ideas. Just push whatever you have thought.
Yeah.
Even if you can do like 3 posts in a week, it's fine. 12 posts in a month is good amount. It's not bad. Algorithm will pick up if your content is genuinely the thing that you actually want to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I've been working on my own pace. I'm chilling
Mm.
thoda sa. I'm enjoying every bit of this, the benefits of 100K which you can get.
Smelling the roses.
Yeah, honestly, smelling the roses.
Yeah. You spoke about enjoying while creating, and there's one challenge that I personally face as a creator, which is trends. I think when we call ourselves creators, platforms have really limited what we can do. So, in terms of what music to use, to following certain trends, stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then sometimes I'm looking at me doing a trend, which I do very rarely, but sometimes I do it for the views. And then I'm like, shit, I hate this piece of content. I don't want this on my profile.
I
So
get
how
it.
do you balance like between creating for yourself and then creating for views?
I don't create for views at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just use that audio,
Yeah.
however shitty it is. I edit my own audio on top of it.
Yeah.
I increase the volume of my audio to the full and the trending audio to like 1 or 2. If you
Yeah.
do it 0, it'll just get out.
Yeah.
But to
Yeah.
1 or 2, where at a point where they can't hear it.
Yeah.
But I make sure that the first 5 seconds of the reel is so good that even if it's not a trend, when people are scrolling in the trend,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if that 5 seconds is quite nice, they'll
Yeah.
forget about the trend for 1 second. They'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, nice, this is good. Okay,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that,
Yeah.
even if the music is different, if it's not a trend, I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind seeing it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. That's a
Okay.
smart way to do it. Yeah.
That's interesting. Kudos,
To
man.
hook them in the first 3 to 5
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that has been the case at this point. I was doing it for views. I was doing a couple of dance steps in my skincare routine as a transition.
Okay.
It worked at first,
Hmm.
but then the reward was much lesser than how shitty I felt.
Yeah.
So I realized that
Cost
you know what,
benefit. Yeah.
I was like, you know what, I'm never gonna do it because
Yeah.
I think there was one dancing trend and I was
Hmm.
doing a hair care tutorial. It didn't match at all, at all. It was the worst thing. I got like 300K views on that.
Yeah.
Performed very nicely.
Yeah.
Got a couple of followers also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I looked at that and I was like, shit,
मुझे देखना ही नहीं है
मुझे
मैंने क्या
देखना ही
किया.
नहीं है कि ये क्या कर दिया है मैंने. मतलब from analyzing demographics and seeing the market trends and giving them tips to dancing for a hair care routine. What have I come down to? And at that point I was like, नहीं, मुझे नहीं करना है.
We've
I
all
am
been-
good as I am
Yeah.
and I'm quitting all of this. Yes.
We've all been
Hmm.
there, and I think the audience is also smart enough to see it eventually. They can
कि
see
हाँ ये
Yeah.
तो views के लिए कर रहा है.
authentic and
Yeah.
I-
You can
this is
feel
better.
it.
Yeah, it's better to stick to like who we are and then make our own content.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long has it been since this podcast?
It's been a year. The podcast is fairly new, but I've been into like music creation since a few years now. I
Oh, wow.
primarily started on YouTube when Instagram wasn't a thing.
Are
And
you
then
doing covers?
I was doing a lot of covers, mashups, and stuff. So that's where I in fact did a lot of multilingual stuff. So I've sung a lot in Tamil, Arabic, Punjabi,
Oh,
that kind of stuff.
wow. So have you done the Omegle trend yet or you haven't yet?
Yeah, I have.
You,
It's a
you
must.
have. I knew
Otherwise,
it.
I'm not a cover singer if I haven't done that. So I've done
Perfect.
So,
Perfect.
yeah.
See, now you know what it's like to get
Yeah.
on with the trend.
Yeah, you have to.
Another area that often we discuss with our guests is that around relationships when you're a creator, and especially I'd say romantic relationships, because I would assume like if you are a well-known creator, like your faces out there, relationships are anyways complicated, but to have another additional dynamic on top of that where like somebody's been following you for like a couple of years, you don't know them, like I'm curious, does that factor in as a variable into romantic relationships or not really?
Are you asking me if I would date someone who's already been following me for a couple of years?
And also, like,
Possibly, I mean, in general, broadly, like, do you
Like,
feel
getting
like
on-
this factors in when you're getting to know people? Does it influence that the natural flow of things?
you don't know why someone wants to be with you.
Yeah.
Like, even on dating apps,
Yeah.
people know you. So
See,
maybe.
dating app is so out at this point. It's out of the frame because now I've got people using my pictures. So
Oh, yeah,
a lot.
damn, man.
Like 13, 14 profiles on Bumble. 5, 6 on
Damn.
Grinder also. I'm like,
Yeah.
Shit, that's
no.
crazy.
Like, and yeah, like I've got a lot of DMs saying, "Oh, is that really you? Are you in the closet?" I'm like, No, I'm not. I'm not. I am very straight.
Yeah.
I've had my experiences with girls. I think
Yeah.
I'd stick to that side itself.
Yeah.
But for the dating experience, I think it would factor in if those people are following me for a couple of years, because then it just changes the dynamics. Because then they know me so well at that point.
Yeah.
They've seen me grow for so long. They know a lot of things about me.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just getting to know them, just starting out. For me, it's like a first date thing where
Yeah.
I'm asking like
Okay.
basic generic questions. And for them, they already know what my morning routine is like, what I do in the entire day, what my gym
What are
timings
you
are like.
doing, everything.
So that will be quite weird for me. Uh,
Mm.
for me, I think dating a creator also, I think I've had these thoughts as well.
Mm.
Uh, See, dating a creator would be easy
Mm.
Mm.
because they would know so much about our lives that
Yeah.
I don't have to explain every single
Yeah.
thing about.
Yeah. That mutual
Like,
understanding.
yeah, for making someone understand why am I going to a club
Yeah.
at
Mm.
12 at night for someone's event
Mm.
where I'm not getting any money out of it
Yeah.
is very difficult to someone else.
Yeah.
Whereas if for a creator, if I just tell them, okay, this agency is hosting this,
Yeah.
and I need to maintain a good rapport with that agency,
Yeah.
they'll
Yeah.
get it in
They'll get it.
and so yeah, that would be much easier. The schedules, the timings, uh, the chaos that goes around,
Yeah.
the ups and downs of the emotions which happen when something doesn't go well or something doesn't perform well is very easy to understand. Whereas
Yeah.
I've realized that if suppose I'm dating someone who's not a creator,
Yeah.
uh, just telling them, okay, this video didn't perform well, and then them telling me that, so what, it's just a reel, is
Mm.
not a good thing at the end of the day, because it took me like days, bro. And
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
don't realize, if
Mistakes.
suppose you are into managing campaigns, and if you don't land a client, how would it feel?
Yeah.
And if me coming to you saying, I get another client,
Yeah.
that just hurtful at that point.
It's unempathetic.
Yeah. So it just wouldn't make sense. But
Mm.
then again, dating a creator on the other side
Yeah.
is also a big no-no,
Yeah.
because then you're meeting with so many people every single day.
Yeah.
There's barely time for each other, honestly, at this point, unless
Yeah.
you are living together.
Yeah.
There are a lot of factors which I've considered, but I don't know at this point. I'm just
But
like,
like,
I'm not dating at this point. Uh,
Mm.
so I'm just figuring my way through it. The last I dated was a couple of years back at this point.
Mhm.
There have been phases where I'm seeing people.
mm,
I don't know what that is.
Mm.
That was very new to me when because I've always, like, I have an older brother, not a real one, but
Mm.
a couple of cousin ones, and I've
Mm.
seen other people. I've been friends with my seniors, and everybody was dating at that point. Like, if you're going out,
Yeah.
couple of dates, you're dating, and then came in this new generation where seeing other people was a
Yeah.
thing.
A situationship, it's
A
called.
situation, yeah, that's the word I was thinking of. I didn't know about this.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I literally had to. So I have a couple of younger cousins. Okay, we have a group on Instagram
Mm.
where they give me information about the new things which are happening, the new words which are coming in the market, and I bluntly asked them like, "What is this situationship?" And they had to just tell me like, "Okay, you know what? You are not dating, but you are doing everything that you are dating,
Mm.
Mm.
but you are also seeing other people."
Mm.
And I couldn't wrap my head around it. Like, why? Just
Yeah.
you like me, I like you. Date, na?
Yeah.
What's the problem? Why do you want to look for another people? Because then when you put yourself in that situationship, you always have a get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you run into a problem, you always are like, oh, but
Mm.
that looks more tempting.
Mm.
Because then
Yeah.
I can start the honeymoon phase back again from the
Yeah.
start.
Yeah.
And not worry
Exactly.
about
The sticky,
discussing
messy
the
stuff.
problems
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not talk anything through.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
one conversation that, okay, you know what, I'm seeing this person also, we are done,
Yeah.
and you're out of the mess,
Yeah.
which I don't get. Like,
Mm.
if you want to make it work, you have to stick it through.
Exactly.
Like, converse with me, tell me what's going wrong.
Mm.
Like, I'm such a pro relationship at this point now. I think I'm
Mm.
growing old at this point. But okay.
But
But I've
these
had that
days-
couple of situationships in a couple of last years, and I don't think it's what I'd dabble myself into.
No, to really screw with your head, man, and like I think
Yeah,
it's a
like
concept that's come from the West now, because like now being
yeah,
exclusive here has become a thing, which is already a thing there. But I think it's just
yeah,
seeping into our culture right now. Yeah.
yeah. Like if you're doing situationship for a couple of first dates, I understand.
Yeah.
Like you're going out with a couple of people for like 4 or 5 dates,
Yeah.
and then like you're weighing it out. I mean, that's also stupid in that case. But then I could still wrap my head around it. Ki, okay, like fine, you have 2 other people,
Yeah.
and this is nothing serious that I would want you to be only exclusive with me.
Yeah.
If it's just the first couple of dates, I wouldn't.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
fine.
that's fine.
Things slow down.
Situationship is fine. Okay, you're just going out your pros, whatever.
Yeah.
You're seeing what vibe matches the best. I
Yeah.
get it.
That's fine.
That much is fine. But after a certain point,
Yeah.
you need to be like, you know what? Okay, this
Yeah.
is my lobster.
Yeah.
That kind of a thing.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think earlier we had spoken about like how people get into our DMs and stuff, and as like the downside to fame is that you get a lot of hate. Firstly, you get a lot of love also, and you get a lot of sleazy DMs.
Oh my God.
So, and these are things that one doesn't prepare you for, right? When millions of people are consuming your content,
Yeah.
obviously, like 100 people will hate on you, say the past like personal comments, send you like the weirdest shit in your DM. And then also the love, it can get very dangerous because when so many people love you, it can get to your head, you can get arrogant very quickly. So no one prepares you for these things. So when you had that growth spurt, how did you navigate it? It must have been challenging, right?
Oh, the DMs are crazy. Because I was also posting thirst traps at that point because of fitness. So I'm also a calisthenics athlete.
Okay.
So I've done kickboxing before. I used to do martial arts before, and I've gone nationals in them. I've won a bronze also in that. I've won bronze in state, and then I've gone nationals. I was beaten up badly. Never mind. But then I've done that kickboxing, and then I've done this calisthenics as well. I'm doing nationals at this point. I'm competing nationally. So I was posting a lot of thirst traps at that point because September, October, I was just doing that because November was my competition. So in that point, I was in the peak of my physique. So every week I was like, okay, this week, this is the picture which I've clicked. Damn, it was nice. And so it was good till I was getting like the female attention. And I started getting male attention as well. And at that point, things started getting out of hand because I was getting a lot of things on my DMs and a lot of nasty paragraphs of what people would do to me.
Literature.
Like, yeah, like one-way sexting. Like, it was just that for a good couple of months. Like, nothing. If I'm literally posting a snap of my face, damn, another one paragraph.
Sonnet. Haiku.
If I'm posting, yeah, like thirst traps at that point was like, I had to think that, you know what? You need to lower the frequency of that. You need to do more getting ready rather than not getting ready wala things. And yeah, I mean, hate comments, touchwood, I've been not getting a lot. I have been getting, of course, but there is a good ratio of 80-20. 80 is all love, but the rest 20 are very nasty ones. It's like stab you, very bitter ones. But it's okay. I get that. I get their point of view as well. And most of half of them are very senseless. They're just talking out of their own insecurities. Telling me that, oh, my body is not that great also. But then they don't realize, okay, they're doing bodybuilding, I'm doing calisthenics. This is what calisthenics athlete needs to look like. I mean, you wouldn't expect Usain Bolt to be like jacked and buff, right? Because
Exactly.
Sport to sport. So I get where they're coming from. Most of them are dumb. I wouldn't call them out. I think I've done that once. I didn't like it after that. So I was like, rather than calling them out, I'd just put a heart, like, oh, sweet, sweet, full stop, and just
send them on their
that's it.
Sometimes they're just
And they would get so mad because I just showed them heart. And they would give me another text, and I was like, oh, okay, it worked. Great. Love it. Restrict account. Never mind.
Best to
But I never blocked them. Like, they're at
Yeah.
least dropping a like.
engaging. Yeah,
Engaging.
At least engaging. They're
Engaging.
putting a comment down. Even if it's a hate comment, I wouldn't mind. It's increasing my comments. It's okay. Glad.
Still engaging.
I think now it's a success metric. If you've made it, you're getting hate. So
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
yeah.
So the thing getting to my head, I mean, I had prayed for all of this. Like, I had manifested all of this.
Yeah.
So when I'm here,
Yeah.
why would I be a bitch about it?
Yeah.
It has come to
Yeah.
a full circle. I'm so grateful about everything that has happened. Even if it doesn't work out, journey was amazing. I love it. Everything that I did, every shoot which I did, I loved being in front of camera. I loved that shoot. I willingly went for that shoot, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why am I being bitchy about it? For people who are coming to greet me or who are liking or who want a picture with me, why am I being bitchy? Because
Yeah.
they are the ground roots of it.
Yeah.
If they're not it, then I'm also not there.
Yeah, for sure. But also, like, coming back to the DM thing, I was like, I'm sorry you went through that, because as someone who's been in a similar position also, I know how it feels sometimes. And I think if a similar thing happens to a female creator, it's like a huge thing. But when it happens to like men, it's taken very lightly. It's taken as a joke.
Yeah.
But I know what like waking up to something like that feels like. So yeah, it's something that the
Now it's
audience
fun.
also needs to be more aware of. Yeah.
Now it's fun.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh, nice. That's
You're
good.
taking it in your stride. No,
That's a good move. Good risk. Good risk. As they say it.
But that is a remarkably mature way to handle it and take it in your stride. And even just keeping this perspective, I think it's massive kudos to you.
I mean, I'm old enough at this point. I just feel old. I don't know why. I just think about all of these words like Riz. What? Yeah. The last word I knew for it was he's got a good game. That's the last. That's the last, which was like 2-3 years back. And now I have no clue how Riz came along. And now I'm just having fun with all of these Gen Z words, and I'm just trying to fit in like no cap and everything. I'm just sorting it out like I know all of this. Now I'm just having fun.
I feel like when we had you on, it was two millennials inviting a Gen Z on the podcast, but I feel like mentally you're also a millennial, and that's why we are vibing. So
I love it.
Yeah. And I think you recognize it when there's a word of slang that comes out of your mouth and it feels weird to say it.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, I shouldn't be saying this.
Yeah, like,
it's like
I think I shouldn't be saying this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a voice. I shouldn't be saying Liz.
Yeah, like
I can't say
cap isn't like taking a W off. Like my mouth, like my brain, like vomited.
There's some
in
short
itself.
circuit that happens over there.
Yeah. It wasn't my case. And I have realized this, that every Gen Z hates that slang, but they still use it. And when it's used in a bad form, that criticizing Gen Z on what they say, everybody gets defensive, like, oh, we don't say this, it's other people. And when it comes to real life, they're like, oh, bro, no cap.
Dub, no cap.
Yeah, bro, that's a short cop and everything. And I'm like, fucking contradictory dickheads. What the hell?
Yeah. And I think brands also get into it, no? Like brands also have to like to stay updated. In fact, I'm curious about this. We've discussed like even in our conversation earlier, the work you've done with different brands.
Yeah.
And you discussed it, I think, more, I guess, in a positive light. But have you also, without naming any names, of course, have you also had any experiences with brands where like it turned you off what they did, like you wanted to step away from the campaign almost, or like you like almost like a brand horror story, if you want to call it?
Yeah. So there was this body shop campaign. I was at like 10K followers, okay?
Yeah.
Not even 10K. And they're like, okay, we'll give you X amount of hamper. We can't give you money. You post. I mean, if you can bleep out the name of the brand, you can. I don't care. And they're like, we'll give you products worth X amount. They gave me 5-6 products, which was 1/10 of the value, and they're like, okay, post the
Yeah.
picture, we'll send you the rest of it. I posted a static, never got the rest of it. I turned 100K. They're coming back at 100K. They're like, we'll give you this amount of products, this amount of money. And I was like, I don't want to work with you ever again.
No, man,
If
that's
you're
not
treating
done.
me differently when I'm at 10K, if you're treating me differently at 100K,
No. That's a no.
not happening.
That's manipulative. It's not fair for any creator. It doesn't matter what your followership is. If you want to do
Yeah.
business, then do business fairly.
Yeah, not happening.
Yeah.
So I've had a couple of brands where if I'm giving you, like, they'll come up with deliverables at the last moment that, you know what, we just put this also, we'll add it, we'll increase it by X amount. And at that point you're just like, okay, it's just one story and I'm getting like X amount more.
Yeah.
At that point you
Might as well.
tend to be like, okay, you know what, do it. And then I realized that they are doing this purposely,
Yeah.
so that we charge less commercials while we are posting that additional delivery.
Yeah.
And then if they tell me that, okay, we need it, like we need a link in the bio or we're not going ahead with the campaign, and they think that I won't turn down a lakh amount of money, and I've been like, take it,
Watch
I
me
don't
do
care.
it. Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I at this point give more respect to someone's word
Yeah.
than the money that they're giving me
Oh,
at
absolutely.
this point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if Body Shop, like if they treated you well at that point, for instance,
I would have
when they
given them less
reapproached you, you would have
commercials.
exactly. It's
couldn't
all it's
maintain it.
relationships.
Yeah, they couldn't maintain it.
Yeah.
So people are focusing on like short-term gain instead of like building relationships.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
something very similar that I've seen even in our creator industry when we all go for these events and parties and stuff like that. And when I'm like networking with people, it's like superficial conversations and then
So
like, hi,
fun.
yeah,
Yay, it's been so long. We
so
should hang
long.
out later.
I really like your content or something like that. And then there have been times where like I've met someone, I've said hi, and then the next moment they've taken a photo and it's on their story and it's being positioned as like, yeah, I'm friends with someone and stuff like that. And what I found it very hard to like really build genuine connections in the industry. What's that been like for you? What's the experience of like events and stuff been like?
Okay, so I'll talk about the circle which I have. Okay, Renel is one of my close friends. There's Mohit, Shruti, everyone.
Yeah.
I've never posted stories with them.
Yeah.
Unless I have clicked their pictures or we've taken a trip together, where we're doing something together, or we're out on an adventure together. Gen Z creators are already new from Monk, so they already know me. They've seen me grow through my employment stage to being a creator on a stage. So at this point, I don't do anything which seems like I am getting clout from them.
Yeah.
Because everybody has a bigger following than me. And if I am trying to fit in that group, it would seem like he also wants to get into the group for this reason.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, even if you see the podcast, I haven't marketed it, I haven't boosted it, I haven't created a hype around it. I'm not looking for views on that podcast. I'm not doing it for subscribers. I am doing it because I just want to chill with my friends on camera. I want to have 1 hour of genuinely good conversations. I don't care if I get a story out of them. I don't care if I get a post out of them. I don't care if they give me a shout out. I just wanted to hang out with them for an hour. I just wanted to show our vibe to my audience. And that's what I'm doing. And I am gifting them from my own, like, there's no sponsor on my podcast. I'm literally paying for the entire production, which is a couple of cameras, renting every single shootout, wireless mics, the giftings that I'm doing, car, fuel, getting them everything that they want, coffees, food, whatever it is, it's all mine. I'm paying it out of my pocket. Not because I want a story out of them, because we're having a good time, honestly. And I just want them to be my friends. They
Yeah.
want me to call them as friends rather than creator friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Pure.
Yeah.
Pure.
At this point, that is much more worth for me
Yeah.
than any other thing. Because if you see my first agency also,
Yeah.
I was with Plug. I'm not with them anymore. My first agency was with Plug Media,
Yeah.
which is owned by Rohit and Apoor.
Yeah.
And I met them. I vibed with Apoor, and I was like, "Good, done. Let's do it." I didn't negotiate
That's
about the
simple.
percentage. I
Yeah.
didn't negotiate about anything. He gave me his word that
Yeah.
okay, this is what the agency is.
Yeah.
We're not the creme. We're not the best,
Yeah.
but we can help you grow. I was like, good,
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. It's simple, man. And I think commerce in our subcontinent has always been more relationship
Yeah.
driven rather than contract driven. ये contract का culture आया है, after
Also important,
globalization.
but
Also
yeah,
important, yeah. But that I know I trust you, you trust me, we'll work
Yeah.
together. Like that's how it's always functioned. And there's a simplicity to it. And I think,
Yeah.
like Karan said really powerfully, long term gain सोचो, short term के लिए
swear.
उसको खो मत दो.
like if you're not genuine with me, if I see that you are not as genuine as I am, or your intentions are
Yeah.
something different, I'd lose the interest there. Like
Yeah.
then
The
as much
turn-off.
as you convince me, it won't happen. Like once that is off, that's off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Just
like,
be genuine with me and I'll be like open arms for you.
Exactly. Exactly.
earlier we spoke about how, like, when it comes to romantic relationships, sometimes it's a great advantage to have like a creator, but at the same time, it applies to all kind of relationships, even friends, right?
Yeah.
If I try and explain my issues to a friend who's from a different industry, they don't get it. So
Exactly.
having a genuine friend in the industry is also such a gift.
It's such a blessing at this point. Yeah.
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 It has
And
been a struggle though, but
mm,
Yeah,
getting
that's
there.
what-
Because I've been in touch with all of my school and college friends,
yeah,
but
Mm.
they don't necessarily understand this.
yeah,
Their lives
Yeah.
are very different than mine.
yeah,
Yeah.
And we are made to believe that everything that is going on in our lives is amazing.
yeah,
That is what it
Yeah.
shows on social media.
yeah.
Mm.
But when they meet me genuinely, I mean, if we don't meet for 3 months, in
Yeah.
that 3 months, between 3 months, they realize that, oh my God, he's doing so much,
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would he even hang out with us?
Mm.
And then we
Mm.
hang out, and then they realize that it's just there
It's
for,
still harsh.
yeah, like
Yeah.
it's the same person.
Mm.
It's just
Yeah.
his things are quite different, which are much more visible than what our work is.
Yeah,
Which is
Yeah.
okay.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually wanted to, I mean, we're talking about content. There's one question that I had with regards to content that is, I guess, more technical or practical. Uh, we discussed earlier how you have had reels go viral, including some interesting trends, if I can say that. Obviously, we can't. If we could do the math, कि अच्छा ये तो पक्का and ये तो चलेगा ही नहीं, then we'd all be. But
Everyone would be successful.
exactly. So वो पता नहीं होता है. But I'm curious, is there when you're trying to create content to go viral, if at all, is there like a checklist you follow of like do's and don'ts that increase the likelihood or maximize the chances that it will work?
I was doing that before. I'm not doing it
Yeah.
now, but I was doing it
Yeah.
before when I was at the growing stage. Yeah, of course. First 5 second rule should be very interesting. Thumbnail needs to be very nice. Should be attractive, very hooking. Trending audio. 30 hashtag limit. You should follow around 22 to 23 hashtags. Find the hashtags which are very relevant to what genre you're in. Make sure that you're tagging the brand so that brand realize that, oh, okay, he tagged us.
Yeah.
We can work with him in the future.
Yeah.
Even if it's not paid, just tag them.
Yeah.
It's like a freebie for them for the start,
Yeah.
just to like start building the relation.
Yeah.
And if you post a story after that in the first 30 seconds, bring a callback every week to it. If suppose I'm doing a stretching video,
Yeah.
and if I've suppose posted a story of me hitting the gym,
Yeah.
I'm doing chest and I posted a reel of doing legs.
Yeah.
and then I will post a story that okay, I'm doing a stretching video of chest. But if you have done legs today, here's a video that you can help you.
Exactly.
Call it back again, call it back again. Now they've made guides into it.
Yeah.
I try bringing back my guides back again every week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a one place where you can find all the information with reels
Comprehensive.
together. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are some great insights for people to take back, and it's been such a wonderful conversation with you, Harsh. And I think we'd spoken about talking for an hour. It's already been 90 minutes, but it's not felt like it.
What? Oh,
Yeah, so we've had
okay,
such a
wow.
great time knowing you, and
Wow.
like I said, we don't see a lot of genuine people, so I'm glad we've connected, and I'm sure the audience also has seen a very different side to you today. So thank you so much for doing the show and being so generous with your time. Would you have any parting
Thank you so
word?
much. I mean, just enjoy the life. Just be grateful for what you've been given, and don't let the fire which is inside you die. Sometimes it might be low on flames.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it is dead.
Extinguished. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can always bring it back up. Just keep faith in it, and you will get it done. Just be genuine, be grateful. It'll work out.
Absolutely. We
So,
wish you the best, and I hope you reach
you
a
guys
place
too.
very, very soon.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun. I didn't realize it was 90 minutes honestly, but fun, yeah. I loved it.
Yeah.
Thank
We're
you so
glad.
much.
We're glad. Thank you so much.
To our audience, thank you so much for watching this podcast. If you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Share this with your friends and family. Comment below which is your favorite part of the podcast. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon. And I'll see you guys very soon in another episode. Lots of love. Bye.